guys.
Welcome back guys to another Clash Royale video, and today I'm back on my new mini account here for another Let's Play Clash Royale episode. And as you can see, we're currently sitting at 1,055 trophies, less than 50 trophies away from this Pekka's Playhouse arena as a level 3, which honestly is pretty crazy guys, because even at like 1,000 trophies and like 900 trophies, all I'm facing are level 6s and level 7s, and it is definitely a huge uphill battle. But I'm still using the same deck that we did in the previous video, so I want to share with you guys 2 replays against level 7 opponents, and then after that we're gonna go ahead and open up these chests here and then finish off with a live battle. So here we are guys in Arena 3 facing up against a level 7, so a 4 level disadvantage in this battle right here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and speed up the footage here in the opening parts of this battle, just because we both waited quite a while to make the opening move, and normally I would have gotten impatient and made the first move a lot sooner than that, but I am facing against somebody that's 4 levels higher than me, so I wanted to play it safe and wait for him to make the opening move. So right there, defended pretty well. Unfortunately, the baby dragon placement wasn't ideal. I placed him accidentally on the right hand side of the arena, and as a result, the baby dragon went onto the right hand tower instead of staying and defending against that Valkyrie, and in the end, the Valkyrie gets 1 hit on my tower. Now right here, gonna go ahead and use the Fireball to counter the Goblin Barrel, which of course, ever since the last update, is a 1 elixir lost every time I do that, because the Goblin Barrel only costs 3 elixir right now. Now right here, kind of in some trouble, gonna go ahead and use my Musketeer as well as the Baby Dragon to try and counter these cards. Now the level 1 Baby Dragon used to do a lot of work for me in the lower arenas when I was facing people that had like level 2 or level 3 or even level 4 commons, but now that I'm facing people that have level 7 commons, the Baby Dragon isn't as strong anymore, because a level 1 epic is balanced against level 6 commons, and the Baby Dragon is fairly underpowered right now anyways. I definitely feel like he deserves a big buff, so I might have to switch out the Baby Dragon a little bit later on, but so far, not too bad. Both of my towers are still pretty much full health. We had done some decent damage to the tower on the left hand side, but of course, because he is 4 levels higher, he still has more tower or more health left on that tower than we do. Now right here, starting to set up another push on the left hand lane with the Valkyrie up front, the Musketeer in the back. Gonna go ahead right here, use my Baby Dragon, or sorry, the Giant up front there, and then firebar all those troops, take out the Valkyrie, damage those Barbarians, and damage the Baby Dragon. But unfortunately, it just isn't enough, because the Barbarians are level 7, and I think my Fireball is only level 2, so definitely a huge level difference right there. But so far, like I said, we're still defending pretty well. Valkyrie up front with the mini P.E.K.K.A in the back. We have a decent counter push going on right here, but unfortunately, at the last second before the mini P.E.K.K.A can make his way to the tower, he does drop down some Barbarians to take him all out, and unfortunately, like I said before, those level 7 Barbarians are just too much for me to handle. Down goes the Fireball right here to finish off all those Barbarians, with the Baby Dragon finishing out that Musketeer. Now right here, I'm going to go ahead and use both sets of Goblins to prevent the Goblin Barrel from doing any damage to my tower, and even though I used 2 cards there to counter the Goblin Barrel, it still is only a 1 elixir loss in the process. Now right here, Baby Dragon coming in, once again using my own Baby Dragon to counter it, and then using the mini P.E.K.K.A from a different angle to counter that Valkyrie. Down goes the Fireball right here to damage those barbs, and once again he's going in with that Goblin Barrel. Unfortunately, I don't predict the location as well, and as a result, we take some damage to my tower. Now take a look at this, we have a decent counter push here on the left hand side, and my opponent tries to sneak it on the right hand side with a Baby Dragon, and all I have to use is a Valkyrie to distract it long enough. We'll be able to get the 1 crown victory on the left hand side there. Let's go ahead to the next replay here. So here we are guys, facing off against another level 7, and I was actually quite surprised to see so many level 7s at like 900 trophies. I definitely thought the level wall was a little bit higher in the trophy range, but we do win our fair share of battles, and we are still pushing up in trophies, so definitely still manageable. Now right here, he's going to come in with the balloon on the right hand side, as well as some minions on the left hand lane, trying to do a split push on both lanes. Now watch how I handle this. Musketeer going on the right hand side, gonna go ahead and use some 2 elixir goblins right in the middle there, just to distract the minions long enough, allowing my tower to finish them off without taking any damage to my tower, even though there is a huge level difference. And also, on the right hand side, the balloon didn't even make it to the tower, so definitely a decent defense right there. Now right here, Valkyrie as well as the Musketeer going up on the right hand side. The Musketeer Thankfully, able to finish off that level 5 mini P.E.K.K.A, but unfortunately, she's just not strong enough to finish off those level 7 goblins, so she will die, but the goblin does die by the tower before he makes it back there, so definitely not too bad right there. Both towers still 100% full health. Now, my opponent here is using a giant balloon strategy, but he's not really playing it too well. If I get the balloon out of that magical chest later on, I'll definitely do a video on some low-level balloon giant strategy. What you really want to do is get the giant down first to distract all of his defenses as well as the tower, and then send in your balloon. You never really want to send in a naked balloon by itself, especially if you know your opponent has strong air defense like the musketeer and spear goblins. Now right there, Giant doing some decent damage to that tower. He drops down the mini P.E.K.K.A to counter the musketeer, but in the end it's a little bit too late because we're able to bring that tower all the way down to 94 health in the process. Now right here, using some goblins as well as some spear goblins to distract that mini P.E.K.K.A long enough, allowing my tower to finish it off. Down goes my Valkyrie to counter his Valkyrie, saving my spear goblins in the process. And right here we have a decent counter push going on with the Valkyrie up front as well as the spear goblins, and they're able to give me the 1 crown lead so far in this battle. Balloon coming on the right hand or on the left hand side, sorry, musketeer going down, and thankfully like a half a second before the balloon makes its way to the tower, we are able to finish it off and prevent any damage to our tower. Now right here, Giant going on the right hand side with some goblins. Now normally the mini P.E.K.K.A is a really strong counter to high health troops like Giant, but unfortunately my mini P.E.K.K.A is only level 2, so it does take her quite a long time to finish off that level 5 Giant. So we do take some damage to that tower in the process, but overall not too bad considering we do have the 1 tower lead so far in this battle. And his tower on the left hand side is all the way down to 700 health. Now right here he's coming in with the balloon once again. Unfortunately we don't have my musketeer handy, so I'm forced to use the fireball, and in the end the balloon even gets 1 hit on the tower, bringing it all the way down to 300 health. So I'm in some trouble here. I have to get ready and get prepared just in case this battle goes into overtime. Giant going on the right hand side, mini P.E.K.K.A as well as some goblins doing some decent damage to it. I managed to sneak in the Giant on the left hand lane there just in case this battle went into overtime, but unfortunately the Giant wasn't able to make it to the tower. But in the end we do get the 1 crown victory. Let's go ahead to one final replay here. So here we are guys, facing up against a level 6 this time. Only a 3 level difference in this battle here, which is definitely a little bit better than a 4 level difference against level 7s. Now the reason I wanted to show you guys this replay is because my opponent makes a couple mistakes in this battle that I wanted to point out to you guys, and maybe give you some tips and stuff like that so you don't make these mistakes yourself. So right here, opponent going to go in with a Giant Skeleton on the left hand lane. Now unfortunately I don't defend it too well, and the Giant Skeleton does make it to the tower. So right here, Giant Skeleton going down right at the bridge there. Gonna go ahead and use my Baby Dragon as well as some goblins there to try and distract it with that fireball, taking out the minions. But in the end it isn't enough, and the Giant Skeleton is able to make it to the tower. I think partly due to the fact that the epics are strong versus low level cards, because like I said earlier, a level 1 epic is balanced against level 6 commons. Now right here is mistake number 1. My opponent used those arrows to finish off the Baby Dragon. Now that was a huge waste of 3 elixir, guys. Sometimes it's best to soak up like 1 or 2 hits from a low health troop and use that health on your tower and exchange it for an elixir advantage. He could have saved that 3 elixir from those arrows and built up an elixir advantage and set up a stronger push right here, but unfortunately he wasted 3 elixir on those arrows just to try and save like 200 health on his tower. Now right here, I have a pretty strong push on the right hand side, and take a look at mistake number 2 by my opponent. You can see how long he's waiting to decide what to do. He drops the rage spell there to rage up his tower when he really should have used the minions and the goblins in the back behind my musketeer, because you always want to try and take out the support troops first before you go for the Giant. He dropped his minions in front of the Giant instead of in the back there, but the musketeer is the highest damage troop in that push, so she is the highest priority target to take it out on a defense. Now right here, Giant going in with some goblins as well as the musketeer, giving me the 3 crown victory. But I just wanted to share that replay for you guys, pointing out those couple of mistakes. But let's go ahead here and do a live battle. So here we go guys, let's go ahead and start opening up these chests, starting with this free chest right here. What do we get? We get some gold, some gems of course, spear goblins, barbarian hut unlocked, and a Giant Skeleton out of a free chest. Definitely going to do a video on that probably a little bit later on, or maybe even today after I'm done opening up all these chests. Let's go ahead here and do this crown chest here next. Some gold, some gems, musketeer, archers, Valkyrie, and finally we get the barbarians, 22 barbarians. Not too bad at all. And then finally the much awaited magical chest here. Gold, spear goblins, bombers, archers. Let's see here, bomb tower, tombstone. The skeleton army, not really my favorite epic, but I think we get one more epic out of here, hopefully. The balloon unlocked. There we go. Definitely a good thing right there. Let's go ahead and throw in this balloon instead of this baby dragon and see if we can't do a giant balloon battle. Now, my giant is only level 3, which unfortunately will probably die super fast against these level 7 opponents. But we're going to try it out anyways and just give it a shot. I might have to play with it a little bit later on to figure out the best deck. But here we go, guys. Hopefully we get a decent opponent. Facing a level 6, so definitely better than a level 7. But we'll see what kind of card levels he has. Hit him up with a wow. I always use the wow emote when I'm facing somebody that's like 3 or 4 levels higher than me. But let's see here. We're going to wait for him to make the first move, depending on how long he waits. Now, normally, there we go. Valkyrie in the back. Let's go ahead and use our Musketeer. Not too sure the Goblin Bear. I'm assuming that was a mistake there. But we're going to go ahead and just drop this Valkyrie right there and counter all those Goblins and counter that Musketeer. And unfortunately, his Musketeer was able to get a couple shots on my tower, which is not ideal. Come on, Valkyrie, stay alive. Please, giant tank for my Valkyrie. Unfortunately, those level 7 Barbarians are just too much for my level 3 Musketeer and my level 3 Giant. Now, normally by now, I think all those Barbarians would be dead if my Musketeer was equal level. Or by comparable level, I mean. Actually, that wasn't too bad. Musketeer won't even get one shot off. Let's go ahead and use some Spear Goblins right here. Don't really have a good hand here. Let's use this Musketeer. Oops, I really wanted to use that mini P.E.K.K.A. That was a mistake, a huge mistake. But let's use that Valkyrie up front there. And maybe get a counter push going on right here. He's using the Witch as well. So the Witch is pretty strong, guys, especially in the lower arenas. And especially because my Valkyrie is only level 3. Of course, the Valkyrie is normally a decent counter to the Witch. But not too bad right there. We're going to go ahead and use this mini P.E.K.K.A. right here to counter this Valkyrie. The Valkyrie does a ton of damage. And she has a lot of health. So you never want to ignore a Valkyrie on your tower. Fireball going down right there to kill those Goblins. And I want to get ready here for the double elixir period and hopefully set up a push with the Giant as well as the Balloon. But he just keeps putting the pressure on. And the thing is when you're facing somebody that has higher level cards, you're constantly making negative elixir trades because you always have to use more cards to counter their cards. So it definitely is hard to win because of that reason. Let's go ahead and use this with this right here. And then use the Valkyrie up front. Now notice I placed the Valkyrie right on top of the Prince, because I don't want the Prince getting a charge attack off after he kills that Spear Goblin. So right here, mini P.E.K.K.A. go down to counter this Giant. We're going to have to use some Goblins as well, and this is what I mean about making negative elixir trades. Normally, a level 4 mini P.E.K.K.A. would counter that level 4 Giant, but my mini P.E.K.K.A. is only level 2, like I said before. So let's start out this Giant push here on the left-hand side. See if we can't get the Balloon to the tower. And let's go ahead and use this right here. I want to save the Balloon as a surprise element. But we are in some big trouble right here. Gonna have to spend a ton of elixir on the right-hand lane defending. Let's see if we can't get this Balloon right here. We'll wait a couple seconds, and we want the tower to lock onto the Giant first. Now, unfortunately, like I said before, Giant being only level 3, he might die pretty fast. But hopefully the Balloon makes it to the tower and gives us that 1 crown. Come on, one more hit, Balloon, please. There we go, getting the 1 crown victory over somebody 3 levels higher. Definitely not too bad right there with that Giant Balloon strategy. And that's how you use the Giant Balloon strategy properly versus that last replay that I showed you guys where the guy was sending in the balloon by itself. But anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.